I remember I was making content and I saw kind of the progression of FaZe, going from like the boys content and then not becoming corporate, but like
corporate.
They got people were like, yo, there's a lot of money in this shit. We're gonna buy in. And I was always curious. I don't even know if you could say this or not. Probably can't.
If you don't mind, I'll say whatever I know. And then if you let my lawyer look at this before we post it, then I'll say whatever you want.
Yeah. So my question first off, I guess I was always curious, how much did the people who came in buy and how much do they own?
Well, the issue is there was a bunch of different, most of it, to be honest. That's the thing. But it's a lot of different people, right? It's like the people that actually are FaZe. And that's what started a lot of this. And I'm going to get into that. It's like why I ended up feeling that way, because it just felt so wrong to me that so many random people got brought in / bought in, and then the people that deserved to have shares and ownership of the company didn't. And now they're being like manipulated into working for what they already should own. So they got turned into employees. And it's weird to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's tough. It's tough though, because like, you know, if people with money come in and they buy whatever, like it's hard to say. Like I can understand both sides. It's just like, it's then for like individuals to protect themselves in the situations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because a lot of us were younger too at the time, right? So
yeah.
We didn't really...
So you get the business guy with the money and the acclimate is going to come in and be like, you know, I could not necessarily take advantage, but I'm going to do my best to protect myself and my interest, right?
Yeah.
So like, you also can't blame, I wouldn't blame these people for treating it that way, because like that's how kind of business works. And I mean, if I've been around the block enough to know that motherfuckers will run you dirty like the minute that they can. But my question is like, where were you in it before, like, because you've had some ups and downs, obviously with yourself on social media. Like, where were you in it? Like, how did you know you were invested to a point where for you to come out and say, yo, this is what I think, this is what happened? You must have been told something that like, oh, yo, you're going to have this, or you're going to have that, and then something changed.
You mean, but that's the thing. They were never really transparent. Like me as a major shareholder, I never knew how much everybody else had.
When did you start to get shares? When you were like, this is what I have?
We split it 25, 25, 25 in 2015, early 2015. We split it 4 ways.
Banks?
Me, Banks, Tommy, Apex. We all split it 25. Because Tommy, originally, like when it was just like a, you know, before it was just like a clan or whatever.
So it was you 4?
100%, yeah.
Okay, I was always curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all owned it equally. And then a bunch of like fuck shit happened, and you know. But I'll get into all that.
Yeah, well, so what happened? So you guys owned it 4 ways.
Did you meet our old CEO? No, it's crazy because nobody knows about him. Nobody even knows like everything he did to us.
I might have.
I went over it with that other interview for sure.
I might have. So what happened?
Pretty much.
But so hold on, let's take it. So you guys are 4 together, like, yo, we're in this, we're equal.
Yeah.
And you guys are all good.
Yeah.
And then
we're all on the same page. We're all
someone brings in like a money guy.
He wasn't even a money guy. He was a finesse guy who told him, oh, I know guys from here. I can help you guys do structure, this, that. But he's just a pathological liar who will, like, I genuinely believe has like a real mental illness. Like he really can't stop lying, bro. Like it's insane.
So, but he must have got in with money though.
He brought in a guy who he said he knew since he was a kid, who was like royalty in Norway, and then he invested a lot of money, and that's why, you know, he still has what he has. But that guy ended up stealing all the money essentially.
The other guy.
Oh yeah, had his wife on salary allegedly, by the way, for $600,000 a month for his wife.
$600,000 a month.
Allegedly,
so
that's what I hear.
What can you say? Like, how much money a month is fucking FaZe bringing in at this point? It was I mean, bro, it was the first like really massive like gaming fucking entity. Like as far as on social, where people are like, yo, this is
But exactly
cool.
it. That's why my biggest thing was preserving that for FaZe, because to be honest, like we could lose all of our esports teams. Cool. Fine. We just go buy another one like every other org does. Who cares? People aren't really attached to orgs for their esports teams like that unless that team has stayed around for a long time, like Optic. Optic, like Call of Duty might be like the only exception because like Scump and people like that. Yeah. But like other teams, like no one gives a fuck. You just, it's all like pros, and if they do well, they do well. Like even our Atlanta FaZe, I like all the boys on the team, but like they're not like ingrained into the FaZe identity like that. It's not like they've been around since 2012, 13. So it doesn't matter as much. What you have to preserve is like the content creation team, that side of the brand, because that's what gives the rest of the esports team strength. Yeah. Right. So
yeah, well, that's the thing.
I don't want to blow that, and these motherfuckers are stupid as hell, and they're just saturating that shit, selling that shit out, and focusing on like that end, the esports end, which isn't even profitable. So it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I can understand both. I don't know enough about the esports and how much actual physical dollars are in that, but I do know what you're saying about the content creators and like them being a really integral part. Like brands nowadays can be very successful without content creators, but it's very, very hard to get to that point. Yeah. And nowadays it's like especially all the new things coming up, if they don't have like a strong backbone of people who are like you know, yo, this is the brand I fuck with. Like they're repping it because people are more engaged with people than they are with companies, and they've always been that way. But nowadays,
any massive company, like even if Apple tweets something, you think they're gonna do like crazy engagement? As even though we all have an Apple phone, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, because people love people.
Exactly.
So I totally understand that perspective.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, I mean, again, I don't know all the details. It sounds like, but I saw the stuff. I saw the video. I saw your video talking about it, and I was like, this kind of makes sense. Like this kind of happens when money comes in, and then
you seen Straight Outta Compton?
Was that?
You seen Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah, and then they're like, yo, we can profit off this, and then it kind of takes away from what it was originally.
Yeah.
So when did that start happening?
Fuck, like 2018. It's been a long time, bro.
And how? So what were the
so even like when I saw you in Calabasas, for example, like that's I was going through it, bro. I was dealing with that guy, that old CEO, and it's like, it just sucks, man, to feel like your whole like company got robbed away from you. And, like our connection, especially like all of us, like I guess like the younger guys, like we have such a strong emotional attachment to FaZe because we were all like massive fans at one point. Joined in, it was a huge deal to us, you know. Like we made it, like this, that. So it's like, that's why I don't give a fuck about the money. That's why I did my thing. Is my shit was worth $60 million at one point. Fuck that. Don't care. I don't want to make that money if FaZe is dying. I don't want to sell out my shares and like let FaZe die. I can't do that. We all had 1 million shares each at the time, and then he randomly gave them all 400,000 and not me. So it's like, to me, it bothered me because I never took a salary ever. Never took a salary because I'm like, I want FaZe to have the money. I lent FaZe $300,000 to buy our Counter-Strike team at the time, and obviously I wasn't like, I didn't have like fucking 10 million or 20 million or something like that. It was like, it was a decent amount for me. It was probably a little bit over 10% of what I had. So gave that to the Counter-Strike team, and then they kind of just like said fuck you for like 6 years, bro. Like for that money that I gave them, for never taking a salary. In my head was like, I'll take care of this brand now, so they got me later. There was no got me later.
But what was what was saying fuck you? What does fuck you mean? What does that mean? Like
they made up a trillion different excuses to why they couldn't pay me back. Like so many different excuses. Like, oh, we can't because of this, that. And then apparently like through passing, I heard from like somebody else that the old CEO said like, fuck him, he's not getting his money anyways. He thought like we're gonna give him his money. The old one, he's gone, and like he scammed a bunch of people. Like he even scammed all of us out of like hundreds of thousands individually investing into his company.
And you guys are all good with that, and they're good with that. So, but my question, like,
who's good with that?
Meaning, like, you guys are good with what each other have. You four are good with.
I don't care. Yeah, no, that's the thing. With us four, I don't give a fuck. A lot of them, like, we have a glorified middleman who got more shares than like Alex and Rug combined. Like, why? How do you come into the company and be a glorified middleman? All he does is pass information for Lee, and he gets more shares than Alex and Rug. How?
Yeah.
In what fucking world? Why do these boomers just to walk in and take more shares than the dudes that built it? And let's just be realistic about who's more valuable. Like, who can be replaceable? We could swap them out every day and nobody would notice. We can't swap out Alex and Rug every day and nobody would. That's not how it works. No, they're the ones with the leverage. But the way that they did is they came in, set up their flag, started bringing people in. And it's not like we got paid. If we all got paid for this to happen, sure, we sold out the company. It's our fault. But it's never happened. It's not like any of us got paid for this. Not even Apex Banks. None of us got paid. Right? So it's not like we sold out the company. It's just that we trusted people to help us with our business structure. They brought in one person. They brought in one person. We did deal with a lot of lawsuits that we had to end up taking money to pay for. So that's an issue.
Yeah.
But then a lot of it was just them hiring incompetent staff and over hiring.
Who's them? The corporate structure?
Corporate motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to name, because obviously it's not Tommy Banks and Apex. All this FaZe shit that everybody sees, it's not us. It's not FaZe. It's not us deciding it. Half these members, when they see like Disney go up, they just found out we're doing a deal with Disney. When they see that this is going up, they just found that shit out. And it's just not the FaZe way, bro. Like, we all got to know this shit, come up with the plan.
Yeah.
Do we like this? Do we not like this? Oh, who would put it on their channel? Oh, who would do this video club? They don't think that way. They are on their weird middle-aged, midlife crisis ass, like trying to be FaZe, trying to get the clout and attention and act like they're, it's weird. It's weird. All the politicking at the warehouse is weird to me. Y'all are old. Like, y'all are old. Stop it.
So does like, how does Banks, how does Tommy feel about this? How does Apex feel about this? Have you talked to them like on the side?
Yeah, no, they agree that we need to change this. Like, they agree with that. Tommy's always said that. Banks has always said that. But they don't agree with my approach to go public. That's the thing they disagree with 100%. Because they're like, no, we can just handle on the inside. We don't need to do this. But it's like, dog, I've been trying for years.
Yeah.
So, but also, like, our old CEO kind of got in between us also. He, like, kind of turned us all against each other. He was really weird and crazy. Like, I'm saying, full-blown manipulator. Like, come to me, Banks said this about you, Apex said this about you, but you're this. And then he'd go to Banks, and Norton said this about you, and Apex said this about you.
Jesus Christ.
He's a monster. He's an absolute monster.
You guys all agree to that?
Unanimously. There's not a single human in FaZe that would ever say he is anything less than a monster.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, not a single person. Not a single person.
I mean, it kind of like, it sucks because things like this, like, just, you can't fully avoid, like, I don't want to call it the like we talked about earlier about becoming corporate, but because you do want to grow.
And I tried one thing to try to like fix it, because the only thing that made sense in my head was, okay, We're all unhappy with FaZe. We all individually go to fight this battle. Why do we not build a union and call it a day? You know how easy it'd be if we built a union? If we all just said we are one, we have one opinion. If y'all fuck with us, it's over.
So that's
FaZe dies without it.
So that's my question to you, like
I
you
tried
four. Why are you guys not on?
I tried.
So why are they all not on the same page?
They definitely were. And that's the thing. We had a meeting with like the top executive people and then the founders, and we agreed on anything the founders say goes. They agreed. They agreed that whatever you four decide on goes. What's the first thing I did?
Did you put it in writing?
It was in a meeting. It wasn't necessarily in writing, but it was in a meeting. And the first thing I did after that is I went out and I tried to get like Alex and Rug and like Tico. Alex and Rug, I put $27 million worth of shares added for their shit. Like I really went hard for them.
Yeah, Rug has been a massive part the last few years.
Rug's the GOAT. I love Rug.
Like massive.